Think what a great thing it is to be a part of something that is the team. The team, the team, the team.
Now we've arrived at the last part of our warm-up, playing long toss. Let's talk about proper throwing mechanics. It starts with your grip. The most ideal grip to get the straightest flying, farthest flying throw is called a four-seam grip. Facing you should be the stitches should form a C. Think of it as C equals correct. You take your fingertips and place them on the seams on the top of the C, preferably 3. If your hand is a little too small for that, you can use 4. The thumb will be on the opposite side of the ball at the bottom of the stitches, and the thumb should line up with the middle finger. Hopefully I'm showing this properly. And if you use 4 fingers, the thumb will kind of split between the 2 longest fingers. And you hold it in the base of your, about the base of your finger should be the bottom of the ball. You never want to go too deep in the palm. You don't want to squeeze the ball. You want to hold it gently. They say a trick is to hold it like an egg that you don't want to break. So you want to have it in there nice and soft, just barely tight enough that it's not going to just fall out of your hand if you flick your wrist like this. And when you play long toss, practice getting your four-seam grip without actually looking at the ball. Practice getting it by feel. Just put the ball in the palm of your mitt and see if you can find the four-seam grip just by feel. And that's definitely a skill you want to develop for games where you can switch to a four-seam grip in a fraction of a second without looking at the ball. And you can develop that skill by practicing it during long toss. So now we've got the proper grip on the ball. Let's talk about proper throwing mechanics. Now that you have your four-seam grip, which I actually just got out of my glove without looking at it, we're ready to talk about proper throwing mechanics. A common mistake a lot of young players make when they prepare to throw the ball is they take it out of their glove and they immediately just bring it back behind their ear, like this. It's similar to a catapult or shooting a bow and arrow, or if you've ever seen someone throw a pie, which you can't really throw a pie, you can heave a pie. It's similar to those motions. Those are all motions we want to avoid when we're throwing the ball. The proper form, I'm going to step back a little bit so you can see me a little better. And let's pretend my target is right over here. The proper form, once you've received the ball, you want to bring it past your thigh, And as you're bringing it past your thigh, you're going to rotate your hips and shoulders so that you're facing sideways toward your target, past your thigh. Next one's elbow high, so it's going to look like this. So I'm stepping toward my target, I'm pointing toward my target with my glove, and as I'm doing that, it's past my thigh, elbow high. Your elbow should be at least close to the level of your shoulder. The next step is ball points behind. The ball is not going to be pointing toward your target when you are up in this position. That would greatly reduce your elbow and wrist flexibility, and it would be more like heaving a pie. Past your thigh, elbow high, ball points behind. And the last step is to wave bye-bye. You flick your wrist, release the ball, you've got a nice four-seam grip, creates backspin, should have nice straight carry to it. And in regular motion, it would look, regular speed, it would look something like this. So as you step forward, that's when your arm's coming forward as well. And you've got good resistance when that foot comes down, and you're going to wave bye-bye to the ball. Now with long toss, as we'll see in a moment, you're definitely not trying to throw your hardest. It's called long toss. Consider it a long lob. You don't want any tension in that arm whatsoever. The entire purpose of long toss is to loosen up your arm. And as you'll see in the video, when you do long toss, you're going to lean back a little bit further you're going to have a more slow and deliberate motion. So let's take a look at what a long toss will look like when you're warming up to play catch with a teammate. So now that we've covered the proper mechanics for throwing the ball, particularly during long toss, let's talk about the proper way to catch it. You might recall, ready position is relaxed, knees bent, hands in this position. And this allows you equal access to a ball anywhere in this radius. When you're ready to receive a throw, you want to have your glove foot slightly out in front of your throwing foot. They call it staggering your feet. Now, if you've ever seen, this especially happens in a baseball game, where a first baseman is trying to make sure that he catches the throw before the runner gets to the base. You may have seen on TV the first baseman will be really stretched out. Let me turn to the side so you can see. They'll be stretched out really far, and it looks really cool, and they catch it just a split second before the runner gets there. And it's a really fun play to watch. But here's the thing. We don't want to emulate that to the point that we're stretching before our teammate has even thrown the ball. Because if we do that before our teammate throws the ball, they essentially have to throw a perfect throw to us, because we don't have much range here. When you're stretched out like this, you don't have great balance, and any throw that's outside this area, if you have to get, you're going to fall over if you try to continue that stretch, or you're going to have to quickly try to reposition your feet. So, what we want to practice is keep our feet under us, nice solid base, where we can have a good stance, and then we don't stretch until we see where the throw is going. So the stretch is going to be at the last moment. Catch the ball, secure it with the other hand. That will look something like this.
Oops.
That's fine.